demon boy into the grave, I can fall in love. Lonely wolf up on my chain, yeah, I keep it on me. Boy, you act like we the same when we really not. Tryna deal with all this pain, turn me to a zombie.
What's good? I'm Milo Wolff, and I'm an 18-year-old hip-hop artist out of Dallas, Texas. I'd like to think I had a pretty good childhood. Obviously, there were some big ups and some big downs, but my childhood turned me into who I am now. So, is it a good thing or is it a bad thing? Take it as you will. My favorite thing about Dallas is just how diverse it is. You could be in one town and it could be a completely different vibe than the next, and that's just something that I feel like you can only really get in Dallas, because it's just so diverse. There's so many different people groups here. So, my mom originally got me into music when I was like 6 or 7. Every Saturday, we did this thing called School of Rock, where she would sit me down and she would introduce me to just different types of music. She put me on punk. We would listen to the Dead Kennedys and the Sex Pistols, new wave, 90s rock, Nirvana, Green Day. She introduced me to everything. And then eventually, she put me on Eminem, and once I started bopping with that and I was messing with it, then my uncle showed me just like a plethora of 90s rap, and I was just so fascinated by it. So I would definitely credit my mom and my uncle. Milo Wolff. Milo Wolff came about because I didn't want my artist name to be my real name, and a wolf has always been my spirit animal. Even when I was younger, it was always my spirit animal, and then Milo just sounds dope. So if I could pick one artist to listen to for the rest of my life, I would have to go with Drizzy. Drizzy's the GOAT. I don't care what anybody says, he is the GOAT. All of his music is so diverse, and he knows how to put together a project too, which is something a lot of people are forgetting. So, if I could live anywhere in the world, I would live in Bora Bora. Now, I don't know how feasible that would be. I don't know how I'd be able to make music out of Bora Bora. I don't know how I'd be able to live the lifestyle that I want to live in Bora Bora. But at some point, I want to go to Bora Bora. The ocean's crazy. It just looks like a vibe. Society's biggest problem is people caring too much about what other people think of them. I was kind of like that for the longest period of time. I hated myself. Not even on some corny shit, but I just wanted to be someone else. I wanted to do what other people were doing, and eventually I came to the point where I discovered music, and I decided I was gonna do my own thing, and if people rock with it, they rock with it, and if they don't, get out of my face, like, fuck you. So, the meaning of life is different for everybody. I hate it when people talk about how there could only be one meaning. There could only be one true meaning of life, and people and philosophers spend so much time trying to figure that out, but truth is it's different for everybody. Everybody has their own purpose, and I don't think that any one meaning should be forced on top of everybody, or on top of anybody. So I make a lot of music, and honestly, part of me wants to say that that's free time, but to me it's just work at this point, because it's what I'm working towards. I have a goal. I also hoop, I play video games, hang out with my homies, but a lot of music for sure. My celebrity crush, Pretty Boy Zane. I'm just kidding. Nah, Jessica Alba is so bad. Like, real talk, she is just, like, she's bad, no cap. For sure, Jessica Alba. One artist that I'd want to collab with in the future. Do bands count too? Yeah. Okay. So one artist or band that I want to collab with in the future would have to be, I got 3. Gunna, just because we're different, so I feel like if we were put on the same song, it would just be some crazy shit, and it would just be a wave. Also, Portugal the Man, Evil Friends is one of my favorite albums. You know, they make more alternative music, but they're dope. And then also Black Bear, just because he's somebody I look up to, you know. And if Kurt Cobain was around, I would have loved to collab with Nirvana. My favorite memory on this journey so far was when I performed for the first time. You know, I performed in my kindergarten and first grade and second grade talent show. So I was already kind of accustomed to performing. But when I pulled up to the venue, you know, and everybody was, you know, looking at me, you know, and I had the mic in my hand, I was a little nervous, but then once the song started, I was just in a completely different universe. You know, I just, like, it's a feeling that I love more than anything in the world. The best freestyler to walk the earth is Juice WRLD. A lot of old heads will say that it's Big L or Jay-Z or, you know, somebody from the 90s, but the thing about Juice WRLD is he's so melodic too, you know, like freestyling and just spitting bars is one thing, but actually coming up with a catchy melody to come with it is crazy. And you know, he records off the top too, so it makes sense that he's so good at freestyling, because his songs are freestyles, so Juice WRLD for sure. If I could change one thing to make it easier for upcoming artists to get noticed, it would be for the music to be more important than anything else. Because nowadays it's like people like the image, people like who you know, they like what you can give them as opposed to just music, you know? Because if making it was about the music, I'd already have made it, you know? That's like just my mindset now, you know what I mean? And that's gonna sound arrogant as fuck, but that's just how I feel, so. If I could give advice to somebody going through a rough time, it would just be to put yourself in a situation where you're not forced to think about what you're going through. You know, like hang out with friends more. Just try to convince yourself that you're happy, because if you do that, then you will feel happy, you know. Appreciate y'all for tuning in to this interview. New music coming soon. Swipe up, follow me on socials.
Girl, I don't fall in love. They say truth is in the sky, I don't see the doves. Only bird that's in the air is when I'm flipping up. If this life is like a bitch, then she speaking tongues. Demon boy into the grave, I can't fall in love. Lonely wolf up on my chain,